Hello and welcome back. This is Double O Debbie, and this is episode 44 of Agrarian Skies 2. Uh, we've been having a good old time here. This morning, I haven't really done anything. I just woke up and I was like, oh my goodness. I did so many things yesterday. I have to just record right off the bat. So let me show you what I did. Okay, so um, I didn't really get anything, done up here. Mostly I did bees. I worked on the bees. I finished off what I was working on, and that was I went ahead and took the industrious and the royal queen out because I have so many of those things that they produce now. It's not even funny. I got almost 10,000, almost 9,000, so I figured I would conserve a little bit of power. Uh, it's still consuming the 94. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and take that out. And I took out the redstone guy, the destabilized one. And so now all we have is the Thumbcraft bees in there. The Savant Queen that's making us lore fragments, and the 6 different bees from, fire, water, earth, air, order, and chaos. They're all in there. They're all happy doing their little thing. So I was really happy to get those guys going and finished up. That's going to help us a lot. And see, they've already produced that many shards for us, so that's super cool. We have shards, and the bees are making them for us. How awesome is that? Okay, so also I did figure out the bees, yes, or the trees yesterday. It started out rough because I was expecting to do something like this with the bees actually doing the pollinating, because way back when I did this the very first time, this is how you had to do it. You had to have bees in an apiary, and uh, I put the bee house over here because it's supposed to help with um, the pollination uh, process. Well, I'm using the bee house because it gives more bonuses for that, but it seems it doesn't like automation at all. You can't. When I read on the wiki, it said that only the. Um, oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Did you see that? A butterfly! Oh, that is so awesome. Where'd it go? Oh, I saw it. Oh, that is so beautiful. Anyway, it said that it's supposed to only, if you put the ignoble queens in here, they won't ever die off. But you can't automate. The way I read it is that you can't put the ignoble queens in through pipes, that you have to do them manually. Apparently I was wrong, and it just meant you basically can't do any of them manually. And if you look, all of these flowers have been grown by the bees here. It's a little bit easier to see, but without with the glasses than without. But you can tell, like, this leaf right here, this leaf block is a little bit different because it has like little spots on it. Uh, so that's actually a pollinated block. And normally, what you would do to breed these trees is you start off with like a normal oak and a normal birch, and then you have your bees come over and do their thing, and you get, hopefully, when they do the little pollinization thing, you might be able to get uh, something like a silver lime, which is this, the first tree. Um, and then hopefully, if you mix this tree with a birch again, but a silver birch, you can get a hill cherry like this. And then so on and so forth. But look, the beautiful butterfly. Oh, that's so awesome. I know. It's silly, but it's beautiful too. It's beautiful. Okay, so that's the way I I was raised doing it. But um this is the age of dentistry where all things are made simple and easy. So once you figure this out, it's so easy. You're like, oh my God, why didn't I just start out doing this? Um, but there's not anything on the um, forestry wiki about dentistry, and I didn't. I figured it out before I ever, got to look it up on the dentistry wiki. There are these cool pollen collection kits. I was like, all the recipes for the trees have pollen in them, and I was looking and I could never figure out what the recipe for pollen is. And I was like, none of these they have recipes that they're used in, but it seemed like they were linked with the saplings that you click on. So I click on this blue maho pollen and it gives me a blue maho sapling, and I'm like, that doesn't help me how to get the blue pollen. So what happens is, if you have your tree that's grown, like this hill cherry, you can come over, right click, boop, and it gives you a little hill cherry pollen, which is super cool and awesome. So yeah, it was turned out being a lot easier than I thought. If you look, you can get, let's see, the walnut is, if you use silver lime and a heel cherry pollen, which I just showed you how to make, you can get a common walnut sapling. And the silver lime saplings you can get by combining silver birch and apple oak pollen. So, what? I just heard something taking damage. Um, that's not good. That's got me paranoid now. There's a mob around here somewhere. I don't have F7 on. Look at that. Where are these spots coming from? I had the same problem up top yesterday. There's a spot that, even though it's lit up the exact same as this side, it's not lit up. I had to put a nook here. See? it's it's lit up and has the exact same thing as over here, but it's just weird. It's just weird. I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah. So, anyway, maybe the boogeyman won't come and get me. Okay, so getting there isn't too bad, because you can get a silver birch sapling just by scanning a silver or a birch sapling in your tree elizer that we got from a quest. So if you just scan this, it turns it into a silver birch sapling. Woot! Then you go and plant it and your apple oak, and then you can go up and get as much pollen as you want with the little pollen kits. And then you can, just take those saplings with your pollen. Of course, you need the apple oak pollen to go with that. Let's go do that. Get one of these. It's really easy. I swear, it's a lot easier than it sounds. Maybe I'm just not explaining it right. So the silver birch sapling goes up here, and you put the apple oak, and you can choose between silver lime and white willow. In this instance, we want silver lime because that's what our quest is asking us for. So, yay! And then you get the silver lime sapling, and then in here it's silver lime and the hill cherry. And you're like, oh, well, how do I get hill cherry? Oh my goodness. So if you look up hill cherry, not cherry, you can get a hill cherry by doing silver lime and silver birch pollen. So now you just get your silver birch. Boop. And you turn your silver lime into hill cherry to get that. You plant it so you can get your pollen. Yay! And then you can make the walnut and so on and so forth. It was definitely a lot easier than I was thinking. I was thinking it was gonna be, take as long as the bees to get those done. But the transmutes or the mutations that you need are very early on in the whole tree. You would, if you would, the whole tree of progression through this. So I was really happy. It didn't take very long at all. Basically, you grow it, and you can bone meal the leaves and turn them into the fruit, which you then have to break like a leaf to get at. But you don't get saplings if you break the leaves for fruit. So that's not good. Another thing is to note when you're doing this is that down here in the girth section, you need to pay attention to the ones that say 2 by 2, because if it says 2 by 2, then you need 4 saplings in order to grow it. Yeah, that took me a little bit to to figure that out. I was like, why won't these stupid saplings grow? And yeah, that's why. So that's what I did. I grew these. These were pretty big. I only did one tree, and I didn't even bone meal the whole tree, and I got all of these nuts off of it. It took me 3 lemon trees to get that, though. So yeah. That was super cool and awesome, but we now have that quest to turn in. Oh my goodness, where did all these quests come from? I was doing other things yesterday, so I don't know if they were quest related. It was more like for fun, because I thought it was cool. There we go, we turn these in, and we're going to get a Vis apiary booster and a reward bag. Oh my goodness, it's all done. Oh, and it says completed this time, so we know we're done now. So, let's see what's in our legendary reward bag. Um, no, I don't want to open it. Let's just go. No, I'm just kidding. Oh! Oh, that is so awesome. Um, that is super cool and awesome. We got 4 aura nodes. Okay, that was definitely a cool. I was expecting some fish or something. I know it's horrible, but yeah. Um, super cool and awesome. Super cool and awesome reward. Um, Let me throw the rest of this stuff in. As you can tell, I have my Thumb-a-Numbicon on my hotbar because I was also working on Thumbcraft yesterday. I know, I know. Why didn't that go in there? Go in there. Go in there. Shoo. Okay. So, I was just researching because I noticed that I had over 300 air. Oh, yeah. What? Oh, no. I use so much now. I'm down to like 136. Uh, those bees, they're producing the knowledge fragments, which is awesome. Let's go see what if they have any more up here. Because now I need them. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Nom noms. Um, I think they changed how the grinders are behaving in the last patch or something, because maybe even the one before, because I cleared out my ME network. Oh, look, either they changed and made it to where the mobs aren't dropping the treasure bags with the grinders, or they changed the rate at which they'll drop and made them super duper rare. Because that's like the first ring that I've seen in here. I couldn't find a place to store these, so I don't know. I don't know. I've been looking and I didn't see any of the other things. I know there are potions that aren't going to go in here. Maybe I'll just turn this off or something. Let it build up. I don't know. It's full now. But I haven't been getting any knowledge fragments from this, so I don't know. That's what I was looking for, really. So I haven't been seeing any knowledge fragments, so I was like, what is going on? So I'm really glad I now have the bees to get this stuff for us. Oh yeah, what? Ting! So they must have changed that. So now we're not getting very many bags out of that at all, which is super sad, but I was doing some research since we had so much air over here. So we just got, now we have 159. So we need tons more of those guys. Tons more. Just throw that in there. But I was doing some research and I was like, oh my god, this is super cool. Yeah, so I researched a lot of the stuff in this section and found basic wand craft. Well, we already had that one, but I went over here to Silverwood and get this crafting scepters, and I was like, what? I've never seen that before. And this is super cool. I made this yesterday. Um, these primal charms, they're not bad. They do take a lot of um, vis from your wand, like 25 of each. Oh my goodness. But I did it because if you read this, the crafting scepters are specialized ones made to be used to craft mystical objects and to craft mystical objects and nothing else. Foci cannot be attached to them, but they have several features that still make them worthwhile using. Firstly, they have an additional 10% vis discount above and beyond what their caps would normally grant. That alone is super cool, but there's more. Secondly, they are able to hold 50% more vis than their cores would normally allow. What? And you're like, oh, good. There's more. Like other ones, they can be crafted using most combination of rods and caps. Excuse me. Just a few examples are given on the next page. So I don't have silverwood yet, so I went ahead and made the Greatwood gold capped scepter, not wand, scepter, to put in our little arcane table because, I mean, come on. Oh, it looks like I've used a whole bunch of it already. This holds 75, which is 25 more than the normal one. I did use it to craft this big bad boy, the gold banded greatwood staff, which I almost got filled up, except for like 6 air there. The only thing about the staffs, which if you read about the magical staves, is that they're too powerful to be even placed in a crafting table, basically. Unfortunately, this also makes it unsuitable for the intricate workmanship and fine control required by an arcane workbench or similar crafting. So, the staff is something that you would carry around with you and put your little foci on. Not something to be placed inside a arcane crafting bench or anything. So I made one of those as well because it was basically just like the scepter, only you had to do an extra step for the rod. Like you can see it. Use 2 greatwood rods and a primal charm to make the staff core. So that was then you just make it like a normal wand and put 2 gold caps on it. Easy peasy. And I went to the nether and killed mobs till I filled them up. Because I don't have any nodes, but now we have super cool 4 nodes. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. Plus we have this node in a jar, and I'm sure there's nodes in the nether somewhere that we can capture manually, but yeah, whatever. Right now I was just so happy to get these cool wands. I thought they were super, super cool. But I think I did some quests just by making it because we had 5 quests to turn in. Oh, what? Oh, yeah, I noticed that assembly line had another quest. These quests finally opened up with something we did in the last video, and I didn't notice it. So, this is industrial waste, which is a sludge boiler, which I had to make. I'm not actually using it. I had to make this for a different quest, I believe. And it's just going to give us a full heart. So, there we go. And now, this is meat packing that wants us to make a meat packer. So, maybe we'll do that if we have a little bit of time left over today. But I think the other quests were in Thaumcraft. And look at that. We did several quests and it's only 9% done. Wow, it's not in here. None of those. Okay. All right, that's all right. We'll find out what we did. Um, didn't do any of that. Oh, yeah, 'cause I went to the Nether and killed a bunch of stuff. So that's what all of those are from. There we go. Uh, I'll probably have to go back there again. So let's just go ahead and I like having 9 lives. I think it's funny. So I'm not eating any more hearts. If I do, it'll be because I died and I'm down to 8 lives. So